so long is like alchemy.
Now take a look at the centers we've played over the last 2 weeks or so. And they're putting up all-star numbers. Now, Boogie is not going to alleviate all the problems, but just his size and presence in the paint certainly is going to discourage that. And just his size, again, it's going to help. He can't get back soon enough. Now, the Warriors with the usual suspects. You see the Kings. There would be no Marvin Bagley in this. Bogdanovic starting in place of Amon Shumpert, the KD defender. How would they fare trying to get one of these games against the Warriors? I feel like Sacramento, one, feels like they've been robbed in a few of these matchups. And two, I think they feel some type of way that half their arena is filled with Warrior fans. Now, these matchups have gotten more and more entertaining, and they didn't let us down Saturday night. It was a light show, y'all. And I like getting Clay shots early, kind of get that out of the way, right? Feed the greedy kid early so then everybody else can eat, and he can just play basketball. So he got quite a few attempts early on, and he knocked all of them down. There wasn't a whole lot missing on this night either way. You see our buddy in the corner, and the story was three-point shooting and lack of defending it. And I'm going to talk more and more about the Warrior strategy. Hield has become a certified heat check artist, right? Once he gets going, there's not a whole lot you can do it. Now watch Steph on this possession. I thought he should have pulled the trigger here early on in the game, and it had me worried, oh, we're going to get more passive Steph, right? I thought that was a shot for him. Draymond decisively to the basket, and Looney gets the tip in. But Steph would prove me wrong just a possession later. You see him push the ball. The key, he had the ball in his hands more, right? The 7-footer on him, it didn't matter. Gets that to go. And like I said, this was a light show. This was a shooting spectacle, literally like we've never seen before from behind the arc. Draymond, and you see he's using the pass as a pump fake, much like Lonzo Ball will do. Look, the pass is the pump fake, and then finishing with the left hand. That's something for him to build on moving forward. Now on that play, watch De'Aaron Fox. He gets clipped in the left knee and goes down and would leave the game. And he was chipped up all game. He got bloodied up on the face. Fox was quiet on this night. But that left more room for Buddy Hield to get loose, and get loose he did. I mean, he's what, 30, 31 years old? He's a grown man. He knows exactly what he wants and where he's going to take it from, this time with Durant on him. No, he's 26 right now officially. We'll have to check back next year to see what they list him as, right? More Draymond selling the dribble handoff and then attacking with that left hand and using that wingspan and strength. Watch Clay here, though. This is out of character off his turnover. Watch him just sulk and not do anything. Look at him. He doesn't run back or do anything at all. And you could say, all right, well, you know, it was too late, but not really. That was like a mild transition break, and no one got back. So there's still signs of guys just doing things out of character. Steph, ISO, KD cleared out. And it's another turnover, and this is where Sacramento just kills you. It's well publicized. They're the fastest team in the league, and you can see why they want to play that way. Shooters everywhere, athletes to the rim, and it's just a fun style of basketball. Watch Bogdanovic get beat backdoor KD for the lob, right? And that's the new NBA. You have to sell out on the three-point line, and I can't reiterate it enough that the Warriors just aren't doing it, right? They are too concerned with playing old-school basketball and giving up dunks and layups. Yeah, they're high percentage, but we all know the math game that's being played now. Steph, that's where he just started to look like Steph. The speed that he ran that route was so much faster than we saw in the Houston game, and that helps him get in rhythm. KD was a facilitator. You have to credit KD for kind of recognizing his selfish ways in that last game late and really just moving the ball all over, and guys were rewarding the pass by knocking down the shot. Then he definitely gets in his bag on this. Watch this in transition. Shows the ball and then brings it back with two hands, 100 miles per hour. There's no stopping that. Our switching defense, though, is what is really destroying us defending the three ball. We're intent on switching everything, and teams know it, and they are punishing us for it over and over from the three-point line. Durant milking the clock perfectly here to end the first. And you can just, what I liked about KD's game was he corrected everything that he was doing wrong in that last game pretty much. Watch Iguodala here on Bogdanovic, and this is a hard habit to break because Iguodala all his life has been told you don't give up the rim, right? But it's inverted now, and you can see him overreacting to jab steps and yielding the jumpers. Steph now completely in rhythm, off the dribble in the mid-range, out in transition. The over-the-top catch and finish is a thing of beauty. Now, to me, Justin Jackson was really the unaccounted for offense that the Kings got in this game. But he's just not yet in the scouting report. He's shooting 3 threes a game at 37%. He went absolutely nuts. Ben McLemore, yeah, dude's still in the league. Sacramento brought him back. And why not? Join the party. Everybody was raining from outside. I had to show this just because Zoe really tried somebody here at the rim. This would have been spectacular. Didn't get it. Only played like 7 minutes. And you think he would play more in a track meet like that, but that was not the case. And I think his switching is a problem. He's not connected. Steph, another three. KD, extra pass, feed Klay Thompson early. Our defensive woes, though, they go beyond just switching. Some of our younger guys, I'm going to hold it here. This shouldn't be a difficult decision for Quinn to go over the top. Look at the spacing. Understand the guy you're playing. He shoots under, and mini Ike Diagu gets the open look. And I feel kind of guilty stirring the pot, but watch KD and Klay here. For whatever reason, KD and Klay are just not on the same page, really on both sides of the court. And Klay, you see, just not even listen to him, turning his back. And I've got to point it out, it's my job. Quinn did hit 3 threes in this first half, despite his defensive woes. More switching problems. They create confusion. Zoe doesn't, and there's an open 3 ball. And it's just ironic. We pioneered the switching, and now it's the switching that's killing us, and we're slow to adapt back. You see other teams not switching as much, and this is death out in transition, the speed, the shooters, and the finisher. And then here's a variation of head knock where Iguodala knows he's getting the shot. And Ig's a shooter where I think it really benefits him when he knows ahead of time that he's going to take the shot, right? Klay, not so much. He just wants to flick it. Ig, he likes to know, all right, I'm getting a shot here. Bielitsa out in transition. And they caught Draymond napping a couple times in the paint. As you see that high score headed into the second half, third quarter, Steph early. Looney, kind of a quiet night, but look at the timing on this offensive rebound. He had 7 boards, but I think this is a tougher matchup for Looney. You can talk about getting up and down the court, but he wasn't necessarily exposed in this thing. And then Durant, he took 20 shots on the night, but it didn't feel like that because so many of them were just created within the flow of the offense. That time he did his thing, headed left, took the contact, finished right, and then this is when you knew Steph was on. He turned early, he turned back early, and it was like, okay, chef in the kitchen, timeout, Jaeger, let's go. Defensively, though, more of the same. Watch these two switching, or really a lack thereof, if you want to say it. And part of the reason why the switching isn't working, there's not as much effort being put forward into the switching, in particular with Klay and KD at times. Cauley Stein, try me. KD, 9 assists on the night, and his gravity may not be as large as Steph's, but the thing is, with his height, he can drop off and find guys that no one else can when he sucks in the defense. There's another one. Klay late reacting out. I'm telling you, man, Klay done changed, man. I don't want to overreact, but he's definitely acting a little different. I'm seeing signs of it everywhere. Durant always gets in trouble when he dribbles in the paint. Like, once he's in the paint, he's so big he shouldn't have to dribble, and then he dogs it back out in transition, and they quick attack. That's a great cross-court pass. Buddy Hield, I don't think he missed all night. Now he's talking to the bench. Steph did have 6 turnovers. That pass late, and you're going to see Cauley Stein finish this thing off now. You think, what kind of offer is Cauley Stein going to get this offseason? Are the Warriors going to be interested in him, depending what our center position looks like? Because he definitely is a Warrior-style center. Draymond completely asleep on the back end. And then look at this. I don't know what he's talking about. He's probably talking about something else, but don't go complain to somebody about something they've done previously when you just got beat like that. That's just ridiculous. Here's more of the same with the switching. Look at them choose wrong here. Oh, Willie Cauley-Stein is Anthony Davis. We better double him to the rim, and it's really Bell didn't switch, right? But some of this has to fall on the coaching staff. The players are making the wrong decisions. The coaching staff has to find a way to tighten things up. Again, my strategy, less switching, less confusion. Make them work. Make them fight over screens. In turn, it will keep everybody more aware because they can never switch and rest. Hield, like I said, you put him on the list now with, you know, Lou Williams, Terrence Ross, you know, all these guys that once they get going, there's nothing you can do out in transition, and you know where he's stopping it. The NBA record for three-pointers made was set in this game, y'all. And at this point, it felt like Sacramento was finally going to get the champs at home. There's solid defense. And the defense ISO'd one-on-one is fine. It's the team defense. It's the screening and switching off-ball stuff is where we've been destroyed. Jerebko running, doesn't give up on the play, is rewarded for it. Here's one more example of them taking advantage of our defensive strategies. KD's going to switch this, right? Sacramento knows it. Giles knows it, so the fake handoff, easy tomahawk. Ron Adams, catch up. SAC had restole all the momentum headed into this fourth, and Steph wasn't having it. Simple pick-and-roll basketball, and what it felt like the game could have got away from us there to end the third, but Steph, like I said, wasn't having it to start the fourth. You see Klay in there with him, a little bit of a rotational change. He gets all the way to the cup, and we're right back in this game, back and forth. Watch this decision here. Switch, no. I know I'm beating this subject to death, but to me, it is the biggest problem with the Warriors right now. And Steph, for the second game in a row, takes a huge charge in the fourth quarter. This time it's Bjelica. And it was one of those moments here in the fourth where it was like Steph's just had enough. You see this, right? The leaning. He knew he was doing that from the backcourt, right? But this is at the point where you're like, all right, Steph's had enough. He's taking control and ownership of this team, and that's when you felt like, all right, he ain't going to let us lose this game. The pick, the roll, Looney, the kick out, KD, within the offense, he gets going. If you listen to KD postgame, he talked about how he doesn't like playing at the three-point line, and it's almost one of those things where I think it's too easy for him. Watch this. He almost wants more of a challenge. He wants to dribble. He wants to show his skill. And him at the three-point line, he just elevates and shoots. And it's almost like he wants to complicate things and make it harder or more of a challenge. Well, you want a challenge? How about you pick up your transition defense? Justin Jackson, 4-3 of the night, and then this happens. Skip to Malu. And let's be honest here. Live, you're like, oh, that's a travel, right? And obviously he's pointing, he's making the 13. And the fact that he made that 13 gesture there lets me know that I think Steph had planned to try the move. After the Rockets game, at some point, I don't think he knew exactly when he was going to do it, but I think he had it in the back of his mind, like, let me try that and see what they do, because he had the gesture all ready to go. Jackson again, number 5. Sacramento would not go away, but neither would Steph Curry. And when Steph is aggressive like this, you notice KD will yield to Steph. It's when Steph's passive that KD tries to go iso ball, and Steph aggressive, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that the ball needs to be in his hands when he is in MVP mode, and he was in MVP mode last night, y'all. And Draymond, look at this turnover. It had no chance, but he can't help himself. And that's the same reason, though, he has the stones to make the big plays that he does. Another 3-ball. Again, the record was set. And then you know he's really in the kitchen when he can take your ankles without a dribble. Justin Jackson, get it taped up.
Drops in a 3. This is the most threes ever in NBA history in one game.
Like I had mentioned, Fox very quiet, except on that move. Very rarely do you see a lefty spin move like that, the inverted spin. I think it threw Clay off. And then here's the problem when Steph is off ball and he's hot. Everybody knows we want to get him the ball, and they were hunting him for the ball, and Sacramento knew it, so it was difficult to get him the look. That's why he needs the ball in his hands when he's going like this initially, so the gravity's already activated. Here we go, ball in his hands, and Draymond's lucky Steph finished this. I thought that was a bit risky, but I understand he pulled the defender. Steph, the takeover was in full effect. Look at him on this side of the floor, right? And he's one of those guys where the offense picks his defense up. It's not the other way around, so he smothers Bogdanovic, forces him into a tough 3-ball, up 2 with 1.5 minutes left in this game. And now, live, you may say, oh, come on, KD, this is a bad turnover, but I'll hold it here. Look at the spacing. What's Iguodala doing? Draymond's getting no respect. Iguodala is too close. He turns that corner, and there's 3 guys. So in my book, that's really more of an Iguodala issue on that particular play, not spacing to the corner properly. Next possession, Fox coughs it up, and Draymond, we talked about him loving the home run play, throws the lob to Iguodala and gets it. And Iguodala, a leaper at his age, he's going to prefer the lob so he can use his arms to propel himself in the air. Draymond, understanding his veteran teammate, doesn't want to bring the ball up with him, gets him the lob, and gives us the lead. So here's the real final attempt, down 4 with just under 10 seconds, and it's Draymond getting the block. So the Kings, despite valiant effort after valiant effort in our matchup with them this season, cannot seem to beat the champs. But more importantly, it looks like we've got a woke Steph Curry heading into 2019, y'all.
And 9. Clay has 20. Steph had 42. And he's alongside Kenneth Bird.
Steph, what was that moment with Coach there?
We were talking about 3-pointers and how many he made in his career versus like a night like tonight where both teams make 41. Keep smiling, big fella.
When you guys, go ahead.
That was it.
When you guys combine for 41, the most in NBA history, what is it like persevering in this game, surviving this game when the shots are falling at a blistering rate?
I was telling Buddy here that we time out. Like it's amazing when everybody's playing at their best. That's what makes this league fun. It's a challenge. The momentum swings in this game is crazy. From down up 10, up 20, down 10, up 10. Like so. because everybody was on. Defensively, it was a tough night on both sides, just trying to contain and fire around and try to, contest shots. But at the end of the day, we made a couple more plays, kept our composure down the stretch, and got the win.
Yeah, tell me about buckling down a little bit more, because every team is going to give you guys their best shot.
We got to have the perspective to not let the frustrations and challenges of this year get to us. We're blessed to play this game, blessed to have the successes we had, and it's really hard to win in this league. So we're getting tested, and I like it because we're fighting through it. It's not pretty. It's every night you don't know how you're going to get it done. Some nights you don't have it, but looking at the long perspective, we're coming together as a team.
And you opened the fourth quarter with the three. You had 10 threes in this game, 20 points in the fourth quarter. It's like the competitor and you just roared. What are you thinking in the fourth quarter about the player you want to be for your team?
Every opportunity on the floor is a chance to help your team win, so I just try to be aggressive and just make shots. It's really it. You keep your head down, stay composed again, just try to be decisive, and that was a difference. So the way we started the second quarter wasn't great. Fourth quarter was way better, and we got ourselves back into the game and we won.
Well, thank you very much, Steph.
So long as like alchemy.